When my husband said those words, I thought he was joking. I poisoned you. He said it so calmly, as if he were talking about the weather. I laughed, a weak, confused laugh. We had been married for 22 years. 22 years of shared meals, shared prayers, shared silence. You don't poison someone you have built a life with. Do you? He stood near the kitchen counter, arms crossed, eyes empty. No anger, no fear. Just distance. You're not funny. I said, my voice tried to sound normal. He looked at the clock on the wall, then back at me. You have about 30 minutes. He said, that's when my smile faded. At first I felt nothing. I stood there, waiting for pain, for dizziness, for something dramatic. Nothing happened. I wanted to believe it was a cruel joke, but something in his face told Methus wasn't a joke. I asked him why. He didn't answer. He walked past me, sat on the sofa. It turned on the television. That hurt more than the words. 5 minutes passed. I felt a strange warmth in my stomach, like hot tea spreading slowly. Then a dull ache. I pressed my hand against my abdomen. Stop this, I said. Tell me you're lying. He didn't even look at me. 10 minutes. The ache became heavier. My mouth felt dry. My heartbeat sounded louder than the TV. I remembered the soup he had insisted I eat. I made it myself today, he had said, smiling. He never cooked. My legs felt weak. I sat down on the chair, my mind racing faster than my heart. Why would he do this? I thought about our past, about the early years, when he used to wait for me outside my office, about the nights we stayed awake, planning our future, about the promises. Then I remembered the changes, the late nights, the phone always. Face dashed down the sudden coldness, and her eye had never confronted him. I was afraid of breaking what little peace we had left. 15 minutes. The pain spread upward. My chest felt tight. I tried standing up. The room tilted. Please, I whispered, call an ambulance. Ack! That's when he finally looked at me. Not with anger, not with guilt, with relief. You won't need it, he said. I crawled toward the table, searching for my phone. My fingers were shaking. Why? I cried. Why not just leave me? He stood up slowly. Because leaving costs money, he said, and being a widower pays. That sentence killed something inside me for the poison could dot. 20 minutes. My vision blurred. Sounds felt far away. I thought of my mother, how she used to say, never ignore silence in a marriage. I ignored it for years. I thought of all the times I chose peace over truth. I wondered if this was my punishment. I reached my phone just then. My husband's. Phone rang. He answered it. Yes, he said softly. It's done. I watched him. This man I shared a bed with was discussing my death. Like a business deal. 25. Breathing became shallow. Each breath felt borrowed. I pressed the emergency number before I could call. My husband walked toward me. I closed my eyes. This is it. I thought, then something unthinkable happened. I heard his voice change. Wait, he said into the phone. What do you mean the test failed? He froze. His face lost its color. What do you mean the poison was fake? He whispered. I opened my eyes. He dropped the phone. He looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. You're not supposed to be alive, he said. My pain stopped suddenly. The warmth faded. The room steadied. I took a deep breath. I stood up, slowly, steadily. My husband stepped back. What did you give me? I asked calmly. He shook his head. I bought it from someone online, he said. They said it would look natural. I smiled, a quiet, tired smile. You poisoned me, I said, with sugar pills. 30 minutes, the unthinkable wasn't. My death. It was his realization thought. He had confessed a crime he didn't commit. Yet the doorbell rang. Police, I had pressed the call button while pretending to collapse. He forgot one thing about me. I was quiet, not weak, as they took him away. He screamed my name. I didn't answer. I watched from the doorway, breathing freely. That night, sat alone in the house, the same house where I almost died. And for the first time in years, I felt alive sometimes. The poison isn't what kills you. Sometimes it's the silence you survive, asterisk. 923-412-048708.
The sudden
When the
kindness
police
before the
car
soup,
disappeared
the way he
down the
watched me
street.
eat, the way he
The
checked the
house
clock.
fell into a silence I
suspected
had never
something.
heard before.
I said
Not
slowly,
the heavy silence
but I didn't
of
want to
fear,
believe it.
not
The
the
officer
tense
nodded.
silence of
He had heard that
arguments.
sentence before.
This was
The next
different.
morning, news
This
spread
was
faster than
freedom.
truth
I
always
walked
does.
back inside
Neighbors
slowly,
whispered.
touching
Some
the
looked at
walls
me
as
with
if I were
pity,
seeing them
some
for
with
the
curiosity.
first time.
One
This
woman
house
said
had
quietly,
heard my laughter
"You're
once.
lucky to be alive."
Then
I
my
wanted
crying,
to tell
then
her
my
something.
silence.
I wasn't
Now
lucky.
it heard my breathing.
I was aware. Days passed.
On
The
the
police
edge of the bed where I
investigation
had slept
continued.
beside a
They
man
found
woke,
messages.
planned
They
my
found
death
money
while
transfers. They found
listening
plans.
to my heartbeat
Every
every
discovery
night.
felt like
I
another
didn't
cut, but a
cry.
clean one.
I
Painful.
COULD
Yet
in single
healing
quotes.
in course.
Shock has its own
My
kind
husband
of
avoided
numbness.
my eyes.
Later
Not
that
because he was
night,
ashamed,
a
but because
police
he was
officer
afraid.
returned to take
Afraid
my
of the woman
statement.
Woes
He
survived
asked
him.
gently,
When the
"Did
judge
you ever
asked if I wanted
suspect your
to say
husband might
something,
harm you?"
my legs
I
trembled as I
paused.
stood. I looked at him.
Thought
the man
about all
who
the moments
once held my hand and later tried
ignored.
to end my life. I trusted you, I said calmly. That was your biggest mistake. The courtroom was silent. After everything ended, I moved out of that house. Not because it scared me, but because I outgrew it. I rented a small place near the city. Sunlight reached every corner. So did my voice. I learned something important. Love doesn't threaten your life. Marriage doesn't. Tea requires silence, and loyalty should never cost survival. Sometimes I still think about that day, about those 30 minutes, how close I came to becoming a story people would forget, and how I became a woman who remembered herself. 8:15 p.m., the 22nd of December, 2025. 923-412-048708. If someone ever makes you feel small, afraid, or silent for too long, listen, because sometimes survival begins the moment you stop ignoring the truth.